when you have small kids and you're working on their birthday, you're working on Christmas, you're working on all the holidays. Sometimes you're not around a third of their life. Here's what people forget in the fire service, especially. You're not around your family for a third of your life. You're with their secondary family in the fire service. I'm not going to talk about the law enforcement because they have different schedules and different needs. I'm just going to specifically talk about what happens in the fire service.
And if I may interject,
Yeah.
my brother-in-law was working nights for years. So
yeah.
he would go to work at 10 o'clock.
Yep.
And then, like, I remember I was getting a cup of coffee with my wife. We were living in Berkeley. And we're like, oh, we could swing by. His name's Matt. It's like, we could swing by and say hi to Matt. Like, because it's 8 a.m. and he's getting off work. So,
Right.
And again, not to take anything away from fire, but
No,
police have
it's-
horrendous, like, when we're asleep, I want to know there's somebody wandering around looking for
Absolutely.
bad guys.
Yeah, and to that point too, is that I think they have a harder schedule, if you will, because there's day swings and graveyards. So and once in a while they switch. They have to switch, so their sleeping habits are off and everything. And quite frankly, fire and police, that's why you typically, after you retire, your lifespan is shortened because of all of the stress that you've gone through while you're working, and the element of the community, the type of calls you do go on. So I hold law enforcement in high regard because back in 1986, I got hired by the city of Fontana to be a police officer. I went through the San Bernardino. That's how you always do this because I lived in San Bernardino County Sheriff's Academy.
Sure.
And I resigned because that was not I wasn't designed to be a police officer. There's a certain skill set, a certain mental skill set you have to be a law enforcement, a police officer or a deputy, which is the same thing basically. But so I hold them in high regards. So I want them to that's why I'm so passionate about making sure their ratios are in line with the community. It's not just the call volumes, it's also officer safety has to be put into that equation as well. So they know that they have backup. They need to have some support on calls because calls can go very wrong very quickly. And we've all seen those results. We just had another Oakland police officer die 2 days ago. There are things that happen. We've had officer-involved shootings here. One of our deputies thankfully didn't die, but he was shot a couple of years back. Boise's had a couple of shootings where officer involved where they've been shot and one lost their life. And I think they have earned every cent, every penny that comes to them. I think they've earned it, and including myself, knowing what I've had to go through in my career. And I appreciate and respect each one of them. And I can't wait to always shake their hand and tell them how humbled I am to be in their presence.